Today we're going to be testing the bumper switch and limit switch from Vex Robotics. We've already written some code to test it out. Here we have our user-defined definitions here. These are preprocessor directives. And then we have our code here, which starts with main. And we did an infinite loop here, while true. Defined a couple variables, pulled the values from the two sensors, the limit switch and the bumper switch. And then we use some LEDs just to test out everything. So we've already started this. We have our values for all the sensors over here, and then our global variables over here, which is just going to be X and Y. X is going to be the bumper switch, and Y will be the limit switch. Okay. So here's our setup. We have the bumper switch right here. This is the limit switch. And the cables are hooked up to the breadboard, and the breadboard has wires going to the microcontroller so that we can test out the voltages with our multimeter. And it's a simple battery pack hooked up to the microcontroller. When I press one of these buttons, either the limit or the bumper switch, we're going to see what happens. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to hold the limit switch down, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. I'm going to press it down. Red turns off. And then if we look over here, the value for the limit switch is 1, while the bumper switch is still 0. And if you go to the global variables, Y is 1. Okay. And let's look at the voltage for this limit switch here. Oh, the voltage is at 0, but once I let go, it jumps back up to 3.15. and red's back on. Let me press it down again to show you how instant it is. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the bumper switch. Now bumper switch is hooked up to the green LEDs, so when I press it, instantly turns off. And I'll hook up the multimeter real quick to the bumper switch. 0, 3.15, 0. Got red on the LEDs. And then if you look over here, bumper switch on sensors is 1, while limit switch is 0. And then X has a value of 1. Okay, so that is the end of our test for the bumper and limit switch.